Mama is your feature debut as a director.
Yes.
And it's a horror movie.
Mm-hmm.
Why did you choose to start with a horror movie?
Well, horror, it's been always with me. So it's not a rational decision. I've been doing commercials for 15 years before this, and it's all comedy.
Okay.
So, but if you see, like, my first short films were creepy. It was when I was back in film school. And horror is the genre that I grew up, and the movies that impress me the most are from are horror movies and fantasy and other genres that are like satelliting around it. So I think I guess it's been always with me, and some of those movies impressed me, all along my ever since I was a child, and then on my teen and film school years, you get to see different horror movies, and they impress you in different ways, and some of them just stay with you.
So you directed a short movie 5 years ago. It was also called Mama. You said you did this short to show people that Spanish directors could do suspense and horror movies. You said it for Rue Morgue, actually.
Did I say that?
Yeah, you say that. Even if the plot looks different, the title is the same and the characters are the same.
Yeah.
So did you really draw your inspiration from this short to co-write this first feature with your sister?
Yeah, the short film actually what it did was raise questions, and it was of course inspiring to make the movie, but in the way that the questions raised in the short film would be what would prompt a story behind it. Because when we did the short film, there wasn't a story, there wasn't a backstory. It was just a context-free sequence. So mainly the story, the question the first question was, why is Mama these two girls' mother? That was the first question. What's the relationship between like two human kids and a ghost mother? That was the first question, and that is the first thing that prompted us into writing.
So this is the only similarity with the
No,
feature?
actually, no. Well, the short film is a sequence in the film.
Oh.
Yeah, it made it into. Actually, we wanted to get there, and the question was how to get there, right? So, in order to get to the roof, basically what we were doing was building a house from the roof, and it's not something very orthodox, but it happened that way in this case. And the funny thing is that we built the house from the roof. We knew where we should get, but when we built the house, then there was no roof, because in our first treatment, that scene didn't happen at all because of the way that forces grew and clashed. There wasn't a place in the movie where that scene would happen. So by that time, we were already talking to Guillermo, and he was already in the project. So we came up with this treatment to Guillermo, and he said, "Oh, that's great, but where's the sequence? Where's the short film?" Yeah, he said, "It's not there. It just didn't make sense." No, but it has to be there. And it was great that he suggested it, because it was a great thing to have like the table turn on that relationship and have the mama chase the girls, which was something that wasn't happening at that time. So it was an interesting twist, and we sort of changed the story to make it happen.
Okay. Mm. So Sir Guillermo del Toro is the executive producer on this film. How did you come to work with him? How was your collaboration?
Well, he started by, he called and say, I want to help you make this into a feature, and that was the beginning. And just then, yeah, that was the first thing in the story. And then, basically, we worked together in the treatment. He threw some ideas at us. Then Guillermo is a guy who respects your instinct as a director, and he feels that by doing that is the only way to make a pure vision into a film. And so he's very respectful of your choices. Nevertheless, he has ideas, and he likes to discuss them with you. So it was great to have his notes and discuss them over. Some of them I liked, most of them I liked, some of them don't. But it was a matter of consensus. It's a word I don't know what it is.
Awarded actress Jessica Chastain plays the role of Annabelle. It's her first real horror movie. Mama is very different from Zero Dark 30 or Take Shelter. How was it to work with her? Did she feel comfortable on the set?
Yeah, because for her it was a challenge to play. It was a character that she never played before, and she was used to more feminine, ethereal characters like the one in The Tree of Life or The Help. Very different between those, but the color was different. It posed a different challenge for her. That's what I think it was interesting for her. She liked the story. She liked the arc of the character. And I think it was a challenge also for us to make that character likable. At the beginning of the movie, because there's a need to have a reluctant hero, someone who's not ready to face the problem. So, following that idea, we needed to make Annabelle an unlikable person, someone who is distant and doesn't want to commit, have kids. So she's not very someone you empathize with. She's not connected to the children at all, and then things change. And to make that arc work was a sort of a challenge for me as a director and for Jessica as an actor.
So the two main characters are faced with the challenge of raising Victoria and Lily that were left alone in the forest for 5 years.
Yeah.
So Mama is also about children. Is it a subject that matters for you in horror cinema, movies with children?
Well, the thing with children is that I think the unsettling idea of having children is that it's merging or even like thinking of having children and the idea of death together. It's always something that is not natural and naturally disturbing. So I would think that's one of the things that are interesting about it. And the other thing is my fascination with the idea of imprinting. And imprinting is about very newborn creatures that are opening their eyes and relating to that thing that takes care of them, even though that thing is not the biological mother. It's a very curious process for me, and I wanted to explore it in this movie and with a supernatural background.
Interesting. Mm-hmm. So like Phil Brown wrote on his article about Mama in the Rue Morgue issue 130, the ghost is a combination of J-horror and the fairy tale-like aesthetic common to modern Spanish genre films. Your sister said you didn't want to use too much CGI, so you worked with actor Javier Botet that we saw in Rec. Mm-hmm. He's playing the ghost. How did you do to make him look like a ghost?
Well, the good thing about Javier is that he doesn't look human. So it was from the beginning. I wanted to combine techniques, and by having Javier, what we would have was a practical element performer, a real performer with impossible features, combined with an artificial element which was CGI, but with hyper real quality. and texture. That hair is so basically the first impression of that creature is unsettling, and you don't. The idea is people not to identify immediately what's going on there. And I think the combination, the strange combination of those two things, make the character work.
And you used strings for a sequence, right?
Yeah. There's a sequence where we shot a lot, and because it has. Mama has a lot of experimental work in it, and the same way I shot the short film. I expected there was some results I was expecting to get from experimentation. So we shot a lot with Javier, a lot of puppeteering, and in order to get these strange spastic movements, we basically puppeteered Javier quite a bit. And because during the first part of the movie, also the little girls are sort of the way they behave is a reflection of what they are imprinted on, which is Mama. The girls have been puppeteered too, and if you see, there's a sequence in the observation room where Lily's moving in a very strange way. It's just a glimpse, but you see her like doing like very strange things with the arms, and that thing would only happen with a bit of puppeteering. And you know, we had a lot of fun. Isabel, the actress, was always playing, and she had a lot of fun with that. Yeah.
So last question.
Yeah.
What is your upcoming project?
Well, we're working on two different things now. You know, one of Guillermo's lessons is that you never know what's going to happen. So you have to have like several projects going on, and he's you know, I can't believe how many things he has like going on, and because you really don't know what's coming next, and the more projects you have, the more possibilities of doing a movie. You know, he's been in, as you know, like he's in The Hobbit, and that didn't work, and Mountains of Madness was supposed to work, and it didn't. So he did Pacific Rim. And so now we are working on two different projects, which are, one is a supernatural thriller, and the other one is a sci-fi comedy.
Okay.
Yeah.
Nice. You have an idea about the cast already, or?
No. We're working on the
secret.
story.
All right. Okay, well, thank you very much.